Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia. This is Lanikia TV, and you're watching the first episode of I'm Not Judging, but I'm Judging. All right, guys, I told you when I started the Lanikia TV channel, it would be very different from Lanikia. There's other things that I like to get involved in and talk about. And so that's the first episode of this I'm Not Judging, but I'm Judging. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. All information that has to deal with real stories going on in the news, alleged. And don't forget to hit that like button for me. Let's get into this, y'all. So the first uh case on the docket has to do with the Young and the Restless, and it's Sally. Now, Sally came to the Young and the Restless, right? Excuse me, to Genoa City because she had made a mess of things in LA in LA. So she came to Genoa City with a new attitude, wanting to change, wanting to be different, and she pretty much has followed through with her, with her ambition and her goals to try to be the better person, to want to try to be a better person, right? So she gets involved with this man named Adam. Now he is a Newman, and so he is in this family, and they have a love-hate relationship. His father loves him, but he wants to control him, and his brothers and sisters, they tolerate him, right? And so he was running Newman um enterprise, right? So he was running this when his sister had stepped away because of some things going on with her. But as soon as she came back, his father yanked it from him. Now he did this twice in a matter of months. So at this point, Adam is like, you know what? You're not going to keep using me. Okay, you're not going to keep using me to control my other brothers and sisters, my other siblings. If you want a relationship with me, have that. And I'm tired of trying to prove myself, and and it turns out this way. So Adam had his old position, which was over Newman Media as CEO. Well, he had moved Sally into that position. And because he didn't want her to lose that position, he broke up with her because he knew if she was with him in a romantic relationship, that his family would use that against her, and he didn't want that for her. So he broke up with her, but he did it in kind of a brutal way, like, because she was begging him, and she told him, listen, I would rather have you than this position. But he thought he was doing the best for her. I will give him that. He thought he was doing the best for her. It wasn't. It wasn't the best for her. But he thought he was. So there were times, and Nakisha is one of the people, because she always reminds me of what they said. There were times when he was like, oh gosh, you're begging me to be with you. How pathetic are you? Are you desperate? Oh, please stop begging me. Because she was begging him to be with her, because she said, I want you, not this job. Because they had a really nice relationship, and the fans, we were loving it, but it ended, right? So then in comes Nick, Adam's brother, right? So here comes Nick, and he and Sally are working together. This is when she still held the position, right? As CEO. They're working together. He gets to know her, and he was like, I see what Adam saw in you, right? So now she and Nick have become a couple. I said, Sally, I'm not judging you, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So they become a couple, right? And so she and Nick are there. He's so different from Adam. He's positive. He's a good influence on her. She wants to be an even better person. She wants to be better, and she's running this company. She does end up getting fired because their sister fires her or whatever. But Nick is there still supporting her. But Sally still has lingering feelings for Adam. Nick knows this. He knows this, but she's sleeping with Adam, and she's in a relationship with Adam, but she can't shake her feelings that she feels for, excuse me, not with Adam, but with Nick, but she can't shake her feelings with Adam, right? And so one night, Adam comes to her hotel room, because nobody has a home. They all live in hotels now on the soaps. So he comes to her hotel room. This is Adam. Remember, she's in a relationship with Nick, the brother, that's been good to her. So Adam comes to her hotel room, and they get this old thing back. And after they do this, they have this intimate act, she realizes, it's not the same. And she doesn't want to be with him, right? So because it's not the same. Unfortunately, Sally is now pregnant. So Sally has slept with both brothers, and she is now pregnant, and she wants the baby to be Nick's, right? She wants it to be Nick's because he's the better of the brothers, just in the way he has treated her. That's all. In the way he has treated her, he's the better of the brothers. But the child could possibly be Adam's, and so she's afraid with it. Now, what I'm not judging you, but I'm judging you a little bit, Sally, is that she doesn't know who the father is, but she continues to sleep with Nick. I said, well, can't we wait until after we find out who the father is and then maybe, become intimate with someone again? I mean, I'm just saying. So the verdict for this, a little bit nasty. A little bit nasty. That's it. And so that's all we have for Sally. So the next case on the docket is The Bold and the Beautiful. Let me tell you something. The Bold and the Beautiful was okay this week. It hovered around a 6 for me until the end. On Friday it got better. But there was this scene on The Bold and the Beautiful where Taylor they're pretty much blackmailing her because she shot a man, but she never went to prison for it, right? So because she never went to prison for it, he agreed he would never tell. But now because he wants his girlfriend to be kept out of jail, he's blackmailing them like, if y'all don't tell this information, I'll go ahead and she can stay out of jail, and I won't tell that Taylor shot me and sent me to prison. This is Taylor. So Taylor has been going through it because she feels so guilty that this woman is out, because the woman is a dangerous threat, Sheila. She feels so guilty that she's out, that Taylor writes this letter, right? So we see her writing this letter, and then we see her have a pill bottle and take a pill. Now, we don't see her take all the pills. We just see her take a pill. And so the interpretation was that she was trying to unalive herself. That's what it implied, right? So then Taylor and Brooke have become close, and she finds this letter, right? So she finds the letter. She's like, what's going on here? And then she finds the pill bottle. And then she goes in the home looking for Taylor, and she sees Taylor on the bed, laid out, right? Sleep. Well, she thought she was sleeping forever, but she sees Taylor laid out on bed, and she's like, oh my gosh. But then we find out it was just a sleep supplement. And so I am judging The Bold and the Beautiful for that, because unaliving yourself is a very serious thing. And I feel like they made very light of it this week. And I don't know how I felt about that. I didn't like it. Honestly, I did not like it because I don't know, because they know what they implied through the storyline, and I don't know. I just didn't like it. Y'all tell me what you think. But the verdict is, do better, The Bold and the Beautiful. That was not cute. That was not. All right, guys, let's move on to the next case. And so what's next is General Hospital, y'all. Ooh, y'all know we went live last night and about General Hospital, and we are still going to be going live on Monday because the wedding is still happening. And so as long as they're going to be at this wedding, we will be doing live reviews of that. That is 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 on the West Coast. We will be going live. But let's get into this because we have Portia. Portia is the cute, sweet doctor at General Hospital. She came on a few years ago, and, she has a daughter named Trina, really pretty, gorgeous girl. And so, we're going through the whole thing with them, right? Portia used to be married to Taggart, and they had a daughter named Trina. This is 20 years ago, y'all, 20 years ago. But in that time frame, Portia did have an affair on Taggart with a man named Curtis. This is Curtis. She and Curtis ended the affair. He did not know she was married. She did not tell him this. So they ended the affair. And then 20 years later, not 20, but a few years later, they meet up again. And they've rekindled the romance because Portia's no longer with Taggart. So they've rekindled the romance, right? The problem is, remember we said she had an affair 20 years ago. Now, Curtis at the time said, hey, you're pregnant. Could this be my child? And she said, no. This is not your child. And it turns out that it could possibly be his child, and she's been lying this time. She just didn't want to blow up her marriage to Taggart at the time. And so she lied. Now, Jordan, Curtis's ex-wife, has found out this secret, right? And she's been pressuring Portia. You need to tell. You need to tell what's going on. You need to tell. But Portia, she won't tell. So now Curtis has asked Portia to marry him. And this is her wedding day. I told y'all we're going live for the wedding. We're still going to go live on Monday again, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 4 on the West Coast. So it's her wedding day, and she's all dressed up for her wedding. She still has not brought out the secret that Trina could possibly be Curtis's child. So she's dressed for the wedding, and she's thinking about, oh my gosh, should I have told him I'm starting this marriage based on a lie? Trina, Taggart thinks Trina is his daughter. Curtis thinks Trina is just his stepdaughter. Trina thinks Taggart is her dad, and it's all a lie. And Portia is holding this lie. But Jordan is like, no, girl, you need to tell the truth, because Jordan was like, my marriage ended with Curtis because I didn't tell the truth. And you don't want to start this wedding on a lie. Excuse me. So the verdict of all of this is, Portia, you have to tell the truth. Let's move on to the next case. But y'all, I promise y'all that this is a good episode. If you don't watch General Hospital and want to kind of lean into it or watch it a little bit, this is a time to get into it because it's so good, right? Y'all know Wendy Williams, because I told you it's not going to just be about the soaps. So I love Wendy Williams. Like I used to watch Hot Topics and wouldn't even watch the rest of the show. I would just watch Hot Topics, because even if it was somebody that I didn't even like on there, she would make it so interesting. And I'd be like, what's going on, girl? Who? What are they doing? So I loved Wendy Williams, right? But she's going through some health issues. That's her in her purple chair. Y'all know Wendy. So she's going through some health issues, and she's financially, she is not there anymore. She still has the money, but she's under a guardianship, right? So she's under this guardianship. And the guardian says, you know what? Because Wendy was with her husband, Kevin Hunter. They were married for years, y'all. Years. They have one child. They were married for years. And Wendy's guardian is like, they got a divorce and she's having to pay him alimony. But Wendy is no longer in control of her money. And so her guardian over her guardianship says, we're not paying this, because there was a loophole in her divorce that said if Wendy is not making on a TV show, or not making what she was making while she was at the height of her TV show, and making that money, that she no longer has to pay him alimony. Like they could put it on hold and she won't have to pay it. And so they went and they said, no, we're not paying this alimony. So she hasn't paid him alimony in months, because one, she doesn't even control her own bank accounts anymore. It's under her guardianship, because she had a lot of vultures around her. And it was really sad what happened, what's happening to Wendy. But I'm hoping that they're starting to clean that up, because she had a lot of leeches on her and everything about what was going on. Now, if you know the story of Kevin and Wendy, then you know that Wendy was one of those women that she was married to Kevin for years. And we find out allegedly, all alleged, that he had a mistress, right? And not only did he have a mistress, but he had her for years. I'm talking years, allegedly. And Wendy was turning a blind eye. She was one of those women that was just like, okay, she let him cheat in peace. She didn't bother him. She wanted him home on certain days. She wanted his support. They would go out together. It looked like a happy couple, but there were always rumors and things that something was going on, that he wasn't faithful and all this stuff. But when he sat on that purple chair and she showed that ring off, because it was a huge ring, and she would say that she's not leaving him. And so, what can you say if somebody says they're going to leave their husband? So he was cheating. And y'all, it wasn't that he was just cheating. He was cheating with this woman, right, for years on top of years on top of years, allegedly. And it's alleged that he bought a home with this woman. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, he bought a home with this woman, right? And it was about, I want to say they said it was 7 miles away from his family's home that he shared with Wendy and his son. It was like 7 miles away. It was a nice home. It wasn't, Wendy Williams money home, but it was a nice home, a few $100,000. She bought this home, and it was close to his family. And if you watch the Wendy movie on Lifetime, then you'll know that she went over, she spray painted the home and said Wendy and Kevin forever. Y'all, this man was wrong. Like, if all of this is true and based on what she has been claiming and alleging, he was doing Wendy so wrong. But she was staying with him through it all because, she was like, I had a child with him. I've invested years in him. Our money is linked together. All of this stuff is linked together. So I'm going to stay. She was like, I'm going to ride out this with him. Just don't let me know. Like, it was really one of those cases where it was like, just don't bring it home. Like, don't do anything that would truly embarrass me in public. Like, I know you're doing this, but I don't want to know about it. She just turned a blind eye to it. And I'm not judging that, because some marriages, it is what it is. There are a lot of marriages I found out as I got older where this happens, where the woman or the man in the marriage, they want to be with that person. They're invested time with that person. They're invested love with that person. And so they turn a blind eye to what's going on. I'm not judging that. But then Kevin's alleged mistress, and, she becomes pregnant, right? She becomes pregnant. And Wendy can no longer turn a blind eye to that, because, now she is pregnant and it's coming out. Everyone knows. And at the same time, Wendy lost her mother. It was a lot going on. She lost her fight with sobriety. It was a lot going on. So she's down. She's lost her talk show. She lost her mom. She lost her fight with sobriety. She lost her husband to this younger woman who is having a baby with him. And so Wendy was going through a lot. This is such a good picture of her. Oh my God. I don't know why people always talked about her, because I was like, she's really pretty to me. But anyways, it's a lot. So now she's down, or she's not Wendy Williams in her prime when she was really going at it. And so she's not making the money she was making. She has money, but there's not the money coming in like it was coming in. So Kevin is like, I need my alimony. I'm about to get kicked out of my house. We have HOA fees and everything, and I'm behind because he's not getting alimony from Wendy anymore. So he's now behind on his bills and everything. And so he's like, he took her to court, right? He took her to court, and he was like, I need her to pay her alimony because we got to live over here. So he says, we got to live over here. So I need her alimony. That money is what we were living off of. Can you imagine? You took this man, because yes, he helped her in the business. There was a partnership, but y'all know Wendy was the talent. And we tuned into the Wendy Williams show because of Wendy Williams. She was the force behind all of that. And can you imagine, this is all alleged, by the way. Can you imagine being with someone, married to him for years, giving him a child? He's cheated on you, because she found out, if we go by what Wendy was saying, she found out when she had her baby that he was cheating. Like, she had just came out of the hospital and was rocking her baby. Like, this was a baby, not like a toddler. This was a baby that he was cheating. So he's been cheating on her for years, and you let him cheat in peace because you were like, I can't blow up this family. I want to be a missus. I want to be with the father of my child. And you let him cheat in peace, and he's doing what he wants. He's bought the other woman a home. And then now when you're down and out, after everything he's done to you, when you're down and out, you have to pay alimony so that they can live the lifestyle that they have become accustomed to. And so he took her to court, and the judge denied it. The judge denied it. And really the verdict here is, Kevin, you're going to have to work. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to get up and make some money some kind of way and stop eating off Wendy. Like, sometimes people should just be really ashamed. They should be ashamed, but he is not. And that's the verdict. Let's move on. That case triggers me. It really does. It triggers me. It is. Okay, y'all. Then we go over here and it's Amy and TJ. And if you watch Good Morning America, the third hour, which I never really watched it, but I followed TJ in his career because I remember when he was on BET and he had a news show on BET, and I would watch that because it was nice to get the news at night. And that's when I was like, I think I was in college or something when he was doing all that. But anyways, child. So he and Amy have this affair. They were both married. This is all alleged, even though they came out and said they're together now. But they had this affair on their spouses. But they say it was an affair. They were no longer with their spouses. And they had already separated with them. They just hadn't made it public. That's what I'm listening. I'm just telling you what they said. But anyways, but it came out that they were together, right? And they make a cute, like it's cute. It's cute. They were wrong. They were if what is alleged is true, and they met each other and they went for a run and then they started this affair. If that's true, then the spouses said they were together. These two say they were not. I don't know the truth. It's probably a little bit of both. They probably were having problems in the marriage, but they were still sticking it out. I don't know. It's all alleged. It's all alleged. So anyways, so it was a whole mess, right? Pictures came out. We saw them together and we're like, what's going on? Because these people are married. And so that's when they come out and they say, oh, actually, we're not in good. We're separated from our spouses, right? Now, the story, the whole moral behind all of this is TJ and Amy have apparently been let go from ABC. They cut them a checks because you know how it is. They give them a payout, right? And Amy's severance pay was larger than TJ's. They say, oh, she was working here longer. She was there 2 years longer. And her reach was larger than TJ's, right? And that's why they say. But the TJ is saying that he hates the fact that he is allegedly, this is what he's saying, that he is being looked at as a predator because it's come out that he had multiple affairs. It wasn't just Amy. It's been multiple women that come out and say, yeah, I was with him. And apparently it's been like, this has followed him his career. It's also followed Amy, her career. There's been rumors and everything, but no one's really come out and said, yes, I've been with Amy. But these women are coming out and saying, yeah, they were with TJ, but it never felt, they didn't feel bad about it because they didn't look at it as like he was over them. He was in a position of authority over them. But anyways, so TJ is allegedly upset because he's not getting the severance pay as Amy has received, and he doesn't like the way they're portraying his character in the news. And the verdict on this is, sir, like if we believe what's come out, then you should have just been faithful to your wife and none of this would have happened. But I don't know, child. Y'all tell me what you think. That's the verdict. Be faithful. Be faithful, people. And so the next case on the docket, y'all, this case, like this is like the Whitney Williams case. It triggers me because Robyn. So Robyn is on the Real Housewives of Potomac. She's married to ex-basketball player Juan Dixon. He is a college coach now, and this is her husband. They got married. We were waiting on them to get married for years, but they have known each other forever. Like, look at this. They're teenage. They're young. They've known each other forever. They've been together forever, and so now this woman comes out. I think it was the day they got married, and she says allegedly that she and Juan were messing around. Now the problem with all of this is they got married. Juan and Robyn had gotten married, and then the woman came out with this story either a few hours later on that evening or the next day. She comes out and she says, but we were messing around. And if you watch Real Housewives of Potomac, then you will know at one point Robyn was in this funk. She was in depression and she couldn't get out of bed. It would be 1 and 2 in the evening. And she said, oh, I'm just depressed. It's the pandemic. And one was telling her, like, it's not attractive that you're being this lazy and all this. But now we know around that time is when all these rumors surfaced, is when Robyn found out that Juan had allegedly cheated with this woman. Now, if he had cheated, it is what it is. We know how some people do in relationships. Excuse me. The only problem is the season had went on, and every time they asked her said anything about a cheating scandal, she was like, no, I mean, stop it, that's not true. But we find out later on that she did know, and she didn't put it on reality TV, and because she said this particular scandal no one outed. And so since they didn't say anything, she wasn't going to say anything. And it was back in her mind. I said, girl, no, you can tell that lie to somebody else, but this is what she's saying. So we're going to roll with it. And so she gets on her podcast and she says, okay, come over here and I'm going to pay for it, pay $5, and I'll tell you what happened. I was like, girl, I'm not going to pay, because there's going to be somebody who's going to leak this. And they did. So she tells us what happened. She says that Juan met this woman. The woman's from Canada, right? And this is all alleged, he met this woman and they had been talking a little bit, right? But she was dating a Baltimore Ravens player. So she was coming into the United States and she was coming to see this Baltimore Ravens player. And so when she comes to see him, some kind of way, this woman lost her credit card, right? And not her credit card, but she lost her wallet, which had her ID, her credit card. It had everything in there. She lost it. And she calls Juan. Now, why didn't she call the football player? I don't know. But this is a story Juan has told Robyn, and she has told us, and that's it. So she calls Juan, and Juan tells her, okay, I'm coming over. So he lays down his credit card and pays for this woman's room, and he leaves. And that's it. And then later on, the woman wanted to do other things. So he had a friend come over, and the woman ended up hooking up with Juan's friend, right? And so Juan, she said he was an idiot for talking to the woman, but it had nothing to do with what everyone else is thinking. So that's it. It was nothing like that. It wasn't as bad as people are thinking. He never slept with her. He didn't do anything. Now, most people are like, what? And so then the mistress comes out, right? And she says what Robyn is saying is not true, that she's not going to go into details because she doesn't want to embarrass Robyn, but that Juan did not pay for her a room just to pay for her a room. Like, there was more to it, but she's not going to go into details. Okay. And she says that Juan told her he and Robyn were just friends, and really they didn't have a relationship like that. They were just doing it for the cameras so that she could be on reality TV. They could stay on and keep getting this check. And the woman says the friend came over, he exposed himself to her, and she was done. She was like, no, I'm not doing this with you. And she left, and that Juan reached out to her. We see the message where he supposedly reached out to her. Well, if it's, because it's all alleged. And she never responded to him again because she felt it was weird, because he's the type of guy to get with a woman and then try to pass her off to his friends, right? It's all nasty. And so she was like, so all of this that she's saying is not true. And then Robyn said the only issue with all of that was that the woman Zelled I guess Zelle is a cash out. But anyways, she requested $4,000, but the woman said, I'm from Canada. We don't have Zelle. Robyn, listen, I get it. I get it. He's told you this story, and you want to believe it because you've met, you're together, you've been on reality TV a long time. Sometimes it's more, I don't know. I'm a lot of people have been just calling her dumb and stupid. I'm not going to do that to her, because if you want to be with someone, sometimes you do things that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to judge her on this, but I am going to judge Juan. And if all this alleged, and it really did happen, because it's all alleged, but if this really did happen, as the woman says, because the story you gave Robyn, and it's not making sense. Like, do better. Like, don't be out, because rumor is, and a lot of people have reported on this, that in that area, the DMV area, there's all kind of it is what it is. They know who he is. They know what he's out in the streets doing. So it is what it is. And just do better. Stop embarrassing this woman. You know she's on TV. That's what kills me. You know you're a public figure and she's a public figure. You don't think these women are going to throw this in her face like this woman has done? Like, stop embarrassing this woman. And that's all, y'all. I wish Robyn the best, because I'm not going to be one of those people that judges like her for wanting her marriage to work and trying to believe her husband. You know, I'm just not going to do it because I'm not in that relationship. I don't know what he's telling her. And that's all I have for you today on the first episode of I'm Not Judging, but I'm Judging. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you Monday for all new episodes of, don't forget, we do the recaps of the soaps. There'll be more entertainment news coming out as well, and I will see you next week for another episode of I'm Not Judging, but I'm Judging. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed. Goodbye.